welcome to Paris's historic Montmartre district. For today's show, we're bringing you a roundup of all of the best current cultural goings-on in Paris and France. Starting right here with an art exhibition that looks at the sharp edges where high art and pop culture meet. Let's take a look around.
In the exhibition, there's blood in the kitchen. There's a man laid out to resemble a bearskin rug. There's also this artist, fascinated with the macabre. A man still young, already dead.
I'm inspired by the Christian funerary art from the 12th and 13th centuries. This is my version of that art. I've put myself there, laid out dead.
Obviously, the artists showing here are all a bit out of the mainstream. Some people may find the art fringe or disturbing, but that doesn't concern the artists.
What I'm seeing are artists who are expressing themselves and who try to give off some kind of positive energy to the evil inside them.
Former biker, former delinquent, former druggie. This American artist views his work as a kind of redemption.
One night while I was praying, I had a real powerful spiritual experience where I felt that it was like the presence of God. And that touched me so deeply that I was able to change my life.
They're in a creative process, whether it works or not, whether they're recognized or not, they'll keep doing what they're doing.
In the U.S., Joe Coleman is a star. His paintings sell for hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Some of my collectors are well-known, like Leo DiCaprio and Johnny Depp owns a piece, and Jim Jarmusch. People that if I named them, you wouldn't know who they were, but nevertheless, they're very dedicated to the work.
The exhibition, designed as a 21st century cabinet of curiosities, celebrates outsider art. On display, work meant to provoke and shock and challenge the viewer.
Well, there are plenty of eyebrow-raising pieces here at the exhibition, and this is an area of Paris that's no stranger to scandal. Just down the road are some of the famous cabarets like the Moulin Rouge, home to the even more famous Cancan. 100 years ago, it was the pole dancing of its day. Nowadays, anyone can learn the high-kicking tricks of the trade.
Ever wanted to have a go at the Cancan? Well, now you can. For 100 years, one of the oldest Parisian cabarets will open its doors to amateur dancers seeking an adrenaline rush.
I signed up because I've been dreaming about it. Last night I was really excited. I didn't sleep much.
Good evening and welcome to the Cabaret Paradis Latin.
Backstage, they get ready for the show. Colorful headbands, long skirts, petticoats, and black stockings, the traditional Cancan costume is a big part of the dance.
Ah, much better. We feel like real dancers now.
Legs must kick high, ruffles must twirl around. The dance is full of suggestive and provocative movements.
I love it. It's like anyone can do it. It's great. It's a long way from classical ballet, where you need to be gracious and all. Oh, gotta go.
The dress is very heavy, and it's hot under the lights. Plus, we have to be synchronized, so it's not easy.
Performed in a chorus line style, most Cancan moves were created 150 years ago, at first to mock the army. Since then, this popular routine has become the most famous French dance of all time. Beyond the choreography, the spirit of Cancan is also about having fun and making some noise.
We really feel like we're part of the cabaret, and now we really understand just how much dancers have to practice.
On the other side of Paris, these professional dancers also have the Cancan bug. They consider it an art, a part of their French heritage. Long restricted to cabarets, the Cancan is now hot-footing it into French popular culture.
Elsewhere in the world, cabaret is still popular, but in France people see it as old-fashioned, and now it's coming back. For foreigners, it's part of French folklore. People here are discovering this dance all over again.
Young people are doing it. Famous dance schools are even calling us now.
Frivolous and fun, the famous French Cancan brings a touch of 19th century glamour to 21st century lives.
Athletic stuff indeed. Well, also getting hearts racing in France right now is a film about an animal, although perhaps a slightly more normal one than our friend here. Jappeloup is a famous show-jumping horse who leapt his way into French hearts at the 1988 Seoul Olympics. His story is now on the silver screen. Rochelle Ferguson reports.
This is Guillaume Canet, accepting a show-jumping trophy as his partner Marianne Cotillard looks on. 20 years after a serious horse-riding accident, Canet threw caution to the wind and revisited his passion for competitive show-jumping.
Jumping bars at that height, it's not just about being in front of the obstacle and simply going for it. The horse must be balanced. There's a real technique to it.
Canet's return to the sport came thanks to filming Jappeloup. As well as starring in it, he wrote the screenplay. The story is inspired by Pierre Durand's life, a Frenchman who won Olympic gold for show jumping in 1988. Durand's horse Jappeloup started life as a relatively small beast by show jumping standards, but he proved extremely resilient. Both horse and jockey were an inspirational duo for Canet.
He followed the beautiful story of Jappeloup closely. I think, like most young horse riders, it moved him and stirred emotion. Add to that the fact that he himself is a show jumper. He almost became a professional at the sport.
To convincingly play the role of Durand, Guillaume Canet drew parallels with his own life, like when he revealed to his father he wanted to be an actor. Those who starred alongside him in Jappeloup say he also wanted to send another message.
When Guillaume wrote the screenplay, he really wanted to show that it's impossible to do anything alone. For him, the people he loves, the woman that he loves, and his family are extremely important.
With stunning horses, emotion, and a dream cast, Jappeloup could create some surprises. At least that's the director's hope.
If you've ever visited Paris, you'll know the very buildings are one of the star attractions. This one here, built around 150 years ago, originally as a market. And in these times of austerity, it's one of dozens of heritage sites all over France getting a new lease of life. As Josh Vardy explains in our next report, some of them very different from their original purpose.
A new way of looking at heritage. This old court in Nantes, in western France, has been reopened. Not to serve justice, but as a hotel. The courtroom itself has turned into an upmarket restaurant.
It's a mythic place now in Nantes, and it's great to have a building with a history before it was a restaurant.
While authorities had built a new court 10 years ago, the old one was causing them problems. It was an important building for the town, but too expensive to refurbish. The solution to their dilemma came when an insurance company offered to convert it. For 10 years, the company pays rent to local authorities and have put in 30 million euros of investment. The architects were then given free rein to realise their vision.
We were lucky with the main French heritage organisation. They authorised us to take out the wall there. The court was completely enclosed. We've now opened it out to the town. This entrance hall has almost become like a public square.
Authorities now hope the same thing will happen at this old police station in another part of Nantes, which they want to turn into flats. Over in Marseille, this former hospital is waiting for investment to become a hotel, and in Lyon, the old prison is due to be transformed into an ultra-modern private university. Heritage trusts say that this kind of privatization can be really good for preserving buildings.
It's a shame that we're letting entire buildings fall apart, and then to restore them it's really expensive. So one of the most important challenges is to take care of the buildings as we go.
Investors can also be owners. This 12th century chapel was left abandoned for years.
Here we go, the chapel door of St. John the Evangelist. We bought it 25 years ago. It was meant for demolition, and we couldn't just leave it in ruins.
Instead of restoring it for its former purpose, Patrick Mandroit has turned his chapel into a house. The nave has become a dining room, and he's set up a bar where the altar used to be.
In the 12th century, there was an altar here. Robert de Marton, a local lord, would come here twice a day.
Patrick's chapel home took many years to build and all of his savings. but the spirit of the building has remained. And for this former museum curator, that's a great source of pride.
The exhibition here at the Halles Saint-Pierre will continue on until the end of August, but for us that's the end of today's show. Thanks very much for watching. We will see you next time for more culture on France 24.